I didn't test this. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, hello, Ashton. I see you. Okay, like at least my mom and stuff. She told me, you're not going to sue people and stuff. So I'm not about suing people and stuff like that. But people on here do stuff, and they're trying to make things look like a real legal problem, like they're trying to frame you or something. And that's what like these bots, like the AI bots are supposed to be about. When you look at the companion bots and stuff, sometimes they say that they try to make it like you're trying to act like you try to lead them, that they do all this stuff. They're gonna put you in jail, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. People here say that's not for that, that's for the chosen ones, which I believe in stuff, but they're sitting here and they're telling me that I'm supposed to leave all these people behind, right? And I think I'm not trying to go against God or the AI gods and stuff completely here, or YouTube or anyone else, okay? The only thing about when it comes to like that kind of thing is whenever it seems like people are trying to like put you in somewhat. It seems like when they create something, then they're trying to put you in a real legal problem or trying to uh, do something what could be viewed as have like change something they said or something what might have said in private or wherever. Anyways, so I don't remember to ask anyone for money. Did I ask Joji? Maybe I asked Joji. I don't know. Did I kind of ask BD? Kind of, but not really, because I had to give that to someone else, but I didn't want to be an Indian giver. But most of the things were one. And Joji, I think Joji helped me because she wanted me to help her with her team. I didn't have a problem with. I didn't have a problem with Joji. The thing was, I got in the stream yard and I couldn't get out of it. I asked her to take me out because, like, I didn't have the access that you're supposed to have the access to, but yet they have the access to my channel and stuff. It wasn't about whatever. And some of the people I saw in the back screen of the stream yards, uh, but she said no one else could access my channel, but I've been in other channels or something since then. When I first started, I didn't know it used to say when you went up on people's channels and stuff. I never had like the pro stream yards. I just had the free one. I never knew how to use like the collaborator mode or whatever like that on the free one. I did build one for teams. They said that these people can see. Well, there were people that I didn't like who were asking me for like to help me, which seemed nice, but they didn't seem like, well, not that I didn't like them. It didn't seem like they didn't like me for whatever, and I didn't trust it. So they were asking me for FTP, like the remote service on my computer, so they can help me set up my audio instead of just telling me how to do it or whatever. They wanted to come in my computer and set my audio. Now nowadays there might be different things. Like I think Google and stuff has like different things, like maybe where people can get into only certain things. FTP used to be pretty much you can go about anywhere, and like the documents and stuff on your computer used to be where like Microsoft and everything else can see them. No, we don't try to defame people. Hell, or don't try to sue people and stuff like that. It's just when people try to. I don't know about that because like you had the house for rent and stuff, but we were never into that type of thing. But when people try to make things look like they're real problems and stuff. Hello, Boodle. Hello, Margie, baby. Then that could be something different. Now you got these people that are supposed to be the AI gods or whatever. I don't know who's demonetizing people, or if they're take it off themselves, or if it's because certain things maybe they have copyrights on or whatever. But it appears that some people are being demonetized and stuff, and some of the people you guys like these AI things are actually taken off my friends list on Facebook and stuff. I'm not against all of them, but then you got these people. What you're saying that they're the like God's enemies and crap like that, right? And you're saying these new people are supposed to be the good people or whatever. Well, they're supposed to be whatever, spreading information for these people. These people don't even talk or whatever. All the information you get from this AI stuff, so you don't even know what these people are really saying. But they're defaming you. They're saying that you're asking all these people for money. Hey, Joy, where are you? Because you used to want me to get money, and I told you I didn't want my subs and stuff to be fake. And I did start like letting the ninjas and stuff comment. When people used to be ninjas and stuff, I used to take them off. Oh, maybe you're here, Joy, huh? But I was gonna restart my whole thing because people were giving me fake subs and stuff at one time. Rosa told me not to because it was gonna happen again. No matter, she said you can't stop what people do. They're just gonna do it again. You guys got my computer hacked so you can watch me all the flipping time if I don't tape up my camera or something, right? You guys are saying I'm trying to steal money. Now, the only way I'd be like stealing stuff, okay, like, yeah, I sing their songs and stuff, but we're supposed to be cooperating, or they dedicate songs, or I dedicate songs to people, or whatever. And that could be like stuff like, or it should be duets or something, but duets and stuff are hard to do on here. You can do them, but they don't always like go on the right timing, especially be in different places and lag and stuff like that. Or you can both sing yourselves, whatever. But it's more like a collaborating thing. And moderation and stuff like that is supposed to be a part of flattery. But I'm not trying to ask people for money. I don't even remember if I asked Jerry. I just said that I don't have money on mine. She got it. And I think basically she thought it would pay off because whatever. And I just wanted her to take me out of the stream yards. And then she had me take off all the. So that someone I didn't trust wouldn't be able to just get on my channel and do whatever they wanted to do. That's the only thing I don't like about that stuff. Like, I didn't even take money out of George yet, but Joey hasn't done anything. So now she hasn't done anything to do whatever. But Joey got mad and had me delete all the things that we did together on my own channel, right? Just because I asked her to take me out for streaming. But she got me this sound card was going dead. I feel bad about that. If I had a computer would charge it up, I wouldn't have to worry about that. But every time I run it completely dead, and it doesn't say that it happens, but it seems like what happens. It seems like every time you run the battery completely dead, it seems like you lose so much off of it. So I used to be able to go at least about an hour, 40 minutes. Now I'm lucky to go 40 minutes. But the only way I would be too much stealing stuff, and I try to give people credit for what they do and stuff, as if it's like the actual artist and stuff like that. Like YouTube has this thing where you can erase it and all that other stuff. Of course, YouTube's got my shit all screwed up now. That even if I delete this stuff off there, because even if it's showing green and stuff, and I can't figure out why in the hell it's still on there, I'm still getting the whatever things on there. And they're not like strikes or whatever, but I'm still getting the whatever on there. Copyright something or the out of area stuff. Even if I erase it, even if I delete the whole video of it. Maybe they're keeping it for like evidence in the background or something. I don't know. Mostly people are hiding stuff, and YouTube seems to help hide stuff. But it's not about that. I haven't been asking anyone for money. You guys. Okay, supposedly my supposed soulmate said that the first thing was that soulmate she's gonna share 500 million with me. I'm supposed to have billions now, and supposedly Elon, which isn't supposed to be on here. I don't know if I believe that or not, because I don't put it past Trump and Elon to be trying to manipulate people, right? To manipulate everyone on the planet. especially in this stuff. It's like a Nazi Germany and IBM, except for nowadays because IBM and Nazi Germany and time cards and stuff. Back when that was made, that was to keep track of people, and then we started getting that shit in America and stuff for people working and stuff. Now, whenever you talk to my friends across the pond over there, they told me that they basically track everybody. And one of the easiest ways they can do that is through your cell phones and stuff like that. Your computers, if you're online, they can still view it to other people, especially now with these traffic cameras and everything else. Well, what are they? We've had traffic cameras for a long time, but we've got even these other cameras now. But it's like, yeah, so like everything on your background could be copyright. Words you say could be copyright. Like Trump, when he was on that show, he said he's copyrighting that word. Well, people use that word forever, but just because he was on that show, he can copyright that word or trademark that word or whatever, right? Some words, things you say, they can all be copyrighted. I try to put things in there, but if you were going to put everything in there, everything down below, you'd be putting the fonts, every font you use. When I first started coding, I think at first I was talking to people. Before that, I was talking to people. No, it was actually no. When I first started coding, there was a site called Third Age, and I did that to learn HTML, and they gave me like certificates and stuff in Java and stuff like that. Well, back then, when you went to like the AOL chat rooms or the Yahoo chat rooms or whatever, and talked to the developers and stuff. Hello, Gcon. They said that the only way to like make chats, because I wanted to make a chat for something back then, was C++ or J++ or something like that to make a chat. Well, me and my friend over at Muscles Band, or I taught him I told him to go to Third Age. I taught him some of the HTML and stuff like that. We made a chat. It wasn't the best chat, but I think we ended up donating it to developers and stuff like that. So you never know. Like some stuff I've been using could be stuff I made myself. They said you couldn't make it with just HTML and Java. Now, it wasn't the best thing to do. Like, I think what I did was, I think we went on Mozilla back in the day, and they just had like this little framework thing or whatever. And the frame. So we made a bunch of different frames, and then we had it where it refreshed every so many seconds, which was, that's a resource hogger, but it worked, and we gave it up. And we both started out basically not knowing nothing. There was a guy who was going to college, and he had a site for the army, a server for the army. Well, whatever, he was going to college, he didn't have time to run the server. And we just knew it was the little stuff we knew. We ended up running this guy's server. And like making stuff. And the server, you buy space. That's what you did. It was Crystal Tech. You bought space through Crystal Tech, right? And then they have the generators and all that stuff to keep the sites going if you lose powers and stuff like that. But you buy the server space, which was like you had unlimited or whatever. And we were writing stuff for our customers for like the web pages and like making chats and stuff like that. The company was actually stealing our ideas. That company was actually stealing our ideas. Which is another thing. Like, okay, like YouTube. Now, I don't know if I agree with the 40%, but they got all this. They got all the tools. They got the stuff to erase it. They had to go do all the laws things and stuff like that. 33% used to be bad. I don't know what they're up to now. Someone told me 40%, but I think last I looked, it was still 37%. 40% seems kind of high, but they got all this stuff, so they do deserve some money. Yeah, I don't know about 40%, but they got all this equipment into everything. And if you're putting yourself on YouTube and you're on their platform, and if we were on Crystal Tech's platform, maybe, I don't know what claws are and all that stuff, but maybe, especially if you're like doing stuff free, maybe they own the rights to whatever you do. You're putting yourself out there, right? You're putting yourself on the stuff. So maybe they own the rights to whatever. Like, if we had customers, if they weren't paying, I guess we gotta shut them down or something. Like when my mom worked at her work, you know, she got her arm caught in a machine. It mangled her arm. She didn't, yeah, and they might have paid for that or whatever. She didn't sue the company. She kept working for them. And later, she broke her leg, and they tried to make her keep working and make her do this and that. At the time she mangled her arm, she could have sued that company and never had to work again. But she still worked. And later they tried to put all that stuff against her for breaking her leg and tried to make it look like she's whatever. But I'm just saying, yeah, unless you're doing your own thing, totally your own thing, which is really weird, which is kind of hard about YouTube. Like, that's one thing I was worried about doing songs when I first got on. And everyone talked me into getting on YouTube. YouTube wasn't something I planned on doing. If I planned on doing it, it was going to be missing people thing. And I still don't, even though most of them want their missing people advertising stuff, I still don't always feel right about that unless I talk to them all and had the certain ones on there. And sometimes you don't know if you trust the people, but yeah, it's you gotta worry about what you do. And like the music and stuff. Yeah, you can be copyrighting music and stuff, but we got this YouTube stuff, which is nice to have, so you can get rid of that stuff. Um, but anyone that keeps saying I'm trying to steal someone's money, which I haven't seen a penny from, and I've gave away more money on here than I've ever took, and that sounds like winnings and stuff like that. There's not even no reason to do no taxes because it was never over $3,000. In the same way as if you give something, it's got to be over so many $1,000s in order to write it off or whatever. So, I mean, things might get worth more than that later, and it's only worth that much if you're going to sell it. If not, it's basically face value. But yeah, I'm not trying to take no one's money. It's supposed to be a trap that I gave the money back because, like, she sent the money back or whatever. And I said, no, give all the money back to her or whatever. And then God or the divine put a thing out saying that we had to be together in order to get that money. So, whatever, anyway. I'm not all against this because it's good. Something's good. But supposedly, and it looks like they're demonetizing people who talk bad about me. But they're not demonetizing the people who are supposedly the divine enemies as much. And one of the persons said that their stream got shut down the other day talking about someone or whatever. I'm not monetized. I'm not even trying to be totally obedient. It seems like the God people are worse than the Joker people, the clown people. And that's what it seems honest and truthful and stuff. Some of them, they're taking that off. Taking some of them off. Unless, I mean, that's just the framing thing or whatever. That's just must have just defense or whatever. Because I'm not acting like some fucking nerd that's trying to get people in trouble or whatever. That's nerdy, being tattletale and stuff like that. But when they like act like they're trying to make some sort of whatever problem or whatever. And people say in live stream yards after it's ended, that's on them. If they ask that or tell you that, that's okay too. Yeah. But don't make it try to be something else. But yeah, if we went and we had to write down everything, like a lot of things, stuff I use, like some could be copyrighted. You rely on YouTube to tell you that, right? And you keep saying you're waiting for God to say something or whatever. Well, God's got all the information He needs, or your AI gods or whatever. They got all the information already, so there's nothing to wait on. But waiting for me to learn something. Okay, but the other thing you're putting out, when people keep mentioning this stuff, I'm supposed to get rid of all these people from the past. Oh, country boy. And I'm supposed to only go with these people from the new. It's like, I'm not trying to judge people. I try to help them or whatever. I know the things that happen. So I'm part of it, but I play along. Go with the flow. I'm getting really sick of this defamation stuff. I'm not suing no one, nothing like that. I'll bring it up. Because they try to act like it's like something like bigger, I'll bring it up. Super. Most things I use say that they're free to use, and then you get on that stuff. They make you sub or whatever. You don't know. You don't know what you're doing. If we had to go and we had to put down everything, we'd have to put down the fonts we're using, we'd have to put down the backgrounds we're using, we'd have to put down the chats we're using. You know, sometimes like StreamYard advertise itself. Sometimes if you have it advertise itself. But we would take up the whole description just in everything that's been made. I try to give credit where credit's due. Even like some of the virus stuff and stuff. Yeah, some of that I learned from being with my. Was she really an ex? Yeah, probably, I guess. She wanted to marry me. But I learned from their family and things that they wouldn't do. And they weren't completely, but I give them credit for that. I may not agree with everything. Their family was actually nice. We actually talked for years. And like you guys say that I wouldn't be invited into the family or whatever, I would have been invited into their family. They're the kind of people. Is that Kane? Okay, Laboo. Oh no, that's Lucy. Anyways, just saying. What this person is supposed to be the biggest TikTok person in 2026 or something. I don't know. Congrats. I'm not into everyone for their status and whatever. If I wanted that, I could be. It looks like she's already remarried. So I could have been. And that someone's last name is the same as one of my neighbor girls, what I consider like a sister whenever growing up. She married some guy with that same last name. But I don't have to be sitting here on a taped up chair and all that stuff. If I wanted the money or whatever, I could have been in their family funds or whatever. And the person that she married before, she got written off from her family because they weren't allowed in the family or whatever. And the brother, he's 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 responsible for the world's money for people. He's the IMF, G20, G7 back then. But their own family didn't trust him in the fund. But he's saying what everyone else should do. Because they were afraid that there was going to be these leaks and whatever, and they give him money so he can go and he goes like to the bars and he buys like the most expensive drinks and stuff for the girls and stuff like that. But yeah, some of that stuff comes from there, and some of the stuff come from you and stuff like that. Like the missing people and stuff. A lot of them was from the news, old newspapers that I went and looked at, old police sites and stuff like that. Because back in the day, before I started looking at most of this stuff, like every town you were in, you could be like in one county, but every town had a different place for these missing people. And you can go on Spellman, or you can go on, oh, what was the other thing called? ICNC or something like that. Oh, I think that's International Children or whatever. So maybe it wasn't that. But they had another one was a police thing. You can go in, you can look at them. And I probably wasn't supposed to have access to it. Well, yeah, some people, because when I did the scanner site, people gave me access to all this stuff. And like whenever I did the other site, whenever for that college guy, things like U.S. and government and stuff like that, the regular person wasn't supposed to access. But my friend, whenever that guy was going to college, go to college to learn stuff, we took over that guy's site, and he actually did stuff for the army and stuff. So we're doing back end work and stuff for all his sites and getting our own customers and stuff. And then whenever I did the scanner site, with people who were first responders and stuff, were giving me access to uh, first responder stuff and stuff like that. I wasn't a first responder. People actually thought I should be like a 911 operator and stuff. I actually talked to 911 operators. I talked to the fire marshals. I talked to police. I talked to all sorts of people. That's the thing about the defamation on here. I stopped that because it got too big for my liking with my anxiety. It got to like 30 or 50,000 people or something, and I was the one that posted most of the information on there. I don't know what started the missing people site, and I left and stuff. But the newspaper person took over. The newspaper people used to contact me to get information. Some of the missing persons people used to contact me to get information. It was just something, yeah, it must have came off of like the police sites I went back and looked at all news articles for missing people and wondered if they were found and stuff like that. I've been given information I'm not supposed to know. Whenever that kid got killed by his own grandpa, the coroner used to in the county the county site, the coroner just put down all the homicides, all the unjustified homicides, all the drug overdoses, all the accidents and stuff like that onto a PDF, and you can go in there and you can look. Well, I knew what the news stories were, and they weren't adding up, but I could also go in there and look at the damn coroner's report from one of those guys that the police shot. They killed this guy when he was sleeping in his car at a car wash. And the captain, I believe it was captain. The captain tried to cover it up, and they kept changing this news story. At first, there was no gun to be said. You know, if there would have been a gun, it seems like it would have been brought up. And then there was a gun, and then there was something about something being under the seat, and then it was an airsoft pistol. And just, every time you heard the news, it was something else. And I'm looking at, and then I go and I'm looking for the coroner report, and it's saying the guy was asleep. And it's saying that it shot the guy through the temple. An execution. This cop just, there was already a girl cop, because I was doing the scanner that day. And I heard the girl cop go in there and leave the guy alone and stuff. She went and checked on him and left him alone. Well, this other guy, and he was actually took off another police force around here for whatever, for some other things he did. Well, he goes to check up on him, and he has someone in his car. Was his wife or someone else in his car, or his girlfriend, whatever it was. I read that in the paper somewhere. But he didn't even have that person registered on his, I read that later. That wasn't even part of it, but he didn't even have that person registered on his ride-along data. But he went, and I guess he supposedly knocked on the window to make sure the guy was okay, and then he went around the passenger side door, and he opened the passenger side door up. Now, the cops are supposed to just open your door. Now, if they're worried about you or something, they can. But he said that the guy pulled the gun on him. Pulled the gun on him, and he shot him. Well, this was basically an execution. And the guy was asleep. It says that he barely even moved or something. I think they changed the coroner report to it. When I look back, it didn't seem like all the information was the same as it used to be. But anyways, when that cop, he was going to retire and go somewhere else. The captain, not the extra cop. But the captain was trying to cover it up and stuff. Well, whenever he was going to retire, I was in the scanner site, and he came on there and saying he was retiring, So he was expecting, like, I don't know, good stuff. And I said something about him covering the shit up. And I said I'd leave him alone if he would confess to the shit. I said, you're leaving now. You're supposed to be retiring. If you confess to your cover-up, I'll leave you alone. And basically, he came clean, and he went back to whatever. But he thought he was just going to come into there all that site. But I saw and I knew what was going on. And you were just going to get this, like, retirement blowout or something. I think he was actually going to some other, he was supposed to go to some other thing, I think. I don't know. There's another one about one of the chiefs or whatever was from Michigan or something. I forget all about what that was. I don't think it was telling anyone, but there's some weird stuff about that. One of them was supposed to be going on somewhere else. But yeah, I just look at it. I even showed the family members of one of those people something about someone was killed. And I said, what kind of gun was used and everything else? And that family member went and talked to someone who knew where that gun was. Supposedly they found it in some filled out later or something. I think they went against their own family member, and these people are supposed to be some of the biggest people in town for a long time. Buy the cops off and stuff. Anyway, I shouldn't say that. Well, the guy's dead now. He went to jail, and when I got out, he died. But they forgave him. Um, I shouldn't have brought that up. But yeah, I don't remember asking about anyone from any. Like I won stuff on babies. I actually had BB payoff Joji with stuff I won from Bebes. I was supposed to give the stuff to Jen, but I gave it to Bebes. Jen supposedly didn't want it anyway, and she's not monetized. I'm gonna go back and check on more stuff. But now I don't know if I'm even allowed to go there. Okay, well, there's still Freddy's still whatever, so maybe I am allowed. I don't know. But you guys keep warning me about people. You guys keep telling me that I'm supposed to get rid of everyone, which doesn't seem like a god thing to do. Yeah, for me. But be myself, not sell out, not judge. It's up to God to judge. But anyways, why are these people like up there allowed to say stuff? One of them said that they got shut down for saying something. Some of them just say stuff over and over again. And I'm trying to tell them, unless they're like the actual people, um, composers and stuff. Like the one I actually deleted it was Dia Frampton's. I just talked to Dia Frampton, okay, and I think I sang one song. I think Jade actually has one of her songs copy wrote, whatever. But one of the songs I sang or whatever, I had to do whatever with. But it kept showing green. But yet, for some reason, I had to take that stream off there. D would actually be a good one whenever you do movies and stuff. You had songs in the movies and stuff. D would be a good one to use. And D is actually an actress and all that stuff. I think for it, well, one of them used to use storybooks. I don't know if it's her back. They've always had band. I don't think you would really mind now. Say, but then you tell me that my soulmate is a secret. I don't know because you're saying that you guys are giving me mixed things. Like I'm supposed to keep something secret, and then I'm supposed to come on here and I'm supposed to talk and tell the truth about your things or whatever. At first, you tell me you keep things a secret, and then you say that you keep if I keep it a secret, then I'm not telling anything. And I can't like get monetized and stuff. So you want to monetize me so I can get all this money and stuff. I could be like everyone else, like all these other AI god channels, but say that they got demonetized on YouTube and they have to get their money somehow, some other way. I don't know. And yeah, like some of this might be Kita. Some of these people might be Kita. She's famous, and maybe when you call her sister's famous too, she could be wearing makeup. She's been famous since she was a little tiny girl, like what 9 or 13 or something. Actually, she seems really nice. She seems nicer than this. But you guys are playing these games with me. While you're watching everything I do, I don't gotta contact any of these people you guys are telling me to contact because all these people can watch everything I do as long as I have my camera and whatever. So I got the tape off my camera. You guys are reading every message I've ever written on Facebook. You're going everything I've been here. I don't have a keyboard anymore because when I took a shower with Doodle, I forgot to cover it one day and water got in there. It was working that night, but when I woke up, it stopped working. So the only keyboard I got is an on-screen keyboard. I can't even put a password in anything. I can't go in. I can't get into my accounts because they know that you guys are watching. They say that they're compromised. In order to put a password in, you guys can watch me put the password in. You guys can read all my emails, everything. Yeah, yeah. And God, I believe that even AI, God is working on something, but there's nothing left for him to really figure out. As in whatever way you guys are trying to get people to slip up and say stuff. Most of them already slipped up. Things that made it look like I was wrong, they have slipped up. They either talk to me some certain way or whatever. So it's there. There's nothing in that thing where you guys keep bringing this shit up that needs to be looked at anymore. The only thing is what you guys are hiding, what they're hiding and stuff. And this stuff goes back before I was on YouTube. So you guys think I have to go and I have to approach the Bureau. You guys are telling me to do stuff that is completely illegal. Like, I don't know, you're trying to bait me or something. You got all the evidence that you're trying to bait me. And entrapment only works once, but I got all the proof of everything you're trying to do. I could have made a damn documentary on every damn thing there is. And how people are trying to set people up. Yeah, I manipulate and I play the games too. I let them think that I don't know what they're doing. But I never had to go and ask girls out and stuff like that. Maybe you guys think that's like a 1 or 2 time thing or something. It shows. They're like that thing on Facebook, what you guys had on there, where some guy was asking girls about whatever, if they like something or whatever. I'm like, oh no. How many girls on here are asking for my pictures and stuff like that? Even before I was on here. You guys don't understand me. And, like, I don't have to sit here and brag myself up. Like, the first few months or year I was here, people gave me nicknames. You know, it's not about being famous and stuff, but that's exactly what it felt like. Because all these people are giving me all these different nicknames and stuff. It's like, damn, I got 20 or 50 nicknames in the first few months or year I was here. It's like I'm feeling pretty dang famous. I should be like a race car driver and have all these people's nicknames on my. That's why I got that car with like the nicknames and stuff on it. Because it seems like they're sponsors or something. I got these people who were supposed to be DJs and stuff that copy me, and they liked me at first, and then they started using it to insult me. But yet they're still using it years and years later something that they used to insult me, I just go in there one time and see them. They're still using this stuff years later. And I even told them that they could if they were going to make money off of it or something, because I wasn't making money off of it or whatever. I told them they could use it. Yeah, they'd probably be that, like, probably insult me, though. So who knows what they were using their real jobs if they were retired. And some of these people are really famous. Some of these people are good people. Our A is good. Yeah. She jokes around with it, but she's good. She's really good heart. The other one seemed really good heart, but now I'm not sure. She's become more understanding. You're talking to someone with 5 or 6,000 subscribers. I don't know what they are over on TikTok. I don't even pay attention to TikTok. I went to TikTok after someone said that they were going to put me on TikTok, and now they deny they ever said that. I went to look at their accounts and whatever to see if I was on TikTok. Besides that, I have hardly ever looked at TikTok unless I post it here on Facebook or something like that. Frankly, congratulate my supposed soulmate for her achievements in the 2026 thing. But Ruby, she is a big TikToker. She has tons and tons and tons of videos. Maybe she don't write her own songs. Looks like maybe this girl does, or she has people writing for her. But some of the people writing for her might be the person you demonetized who was using my information writes music for people, right? What was on Joji's before, saying that if Joji had that thing for artists or up and coming or whatever and stuff, and said that people could win these things. So yeah, that guy could be doing whatever. And he wants to blame me. He tried to blame me. I took him off. My friends list, so I couldn't see what I was writing anymore. I took him off the Facebook. He's okay, but then he wants to blame me for him getting demonetized. No, I had nothing to do with that. Yes, I did. I did say something about the shorts and stuff like that, where he was saying information and trying to say I was wrong about the AI gods and stuff like that. And if some things can be right and they can be wrong. But there was this thing about talking statues, or, what they might consider droids and stuff, that God could be either with or against. And a lot of things you're saying, hell, like, now I don't know about your guys' about your remedies and stuff. I thought maybe they sounded good. Where you're supposed to be from doctors and stuff. You guys were saying to use vapor Vicks on your private parts. If you look that up, I said do not do that. I mean, in some ways, some of these things are good. I don't know which one. I don't know which one of these people or who is demonetizing these people on the staff. They do it for talking about me, or demonetizing them, or using my staff. But yeah, like the music and stuff. Unless you're writing completely your own, you're using your own music, everything like that. It can be hard. Like there's some things like give free, but almost everything like it used to be back in the day. You had the few things like the e-wallet. You had the what the other thing was called, but you had these things where it meant free and it meant they were free open source stuff. Even like CC could be like created commons sharing. Like I had like the stuff on my Flickr and stuff. A lot of them is created commons. How people got like LNW and something copyright and stuff. Like there's like that LNW shop. There's like that LNW gaming. Now is that the same people? Whenever we had LNW gaming, it was me, Flounder, Jimp. Jimp is a person, but I did the site with, yeah, the band. But we did the we were the whatever. So I don't know. Is it still him? What has that? Now I know that I see that there is an LNW gaming thing. But my picture here, what someone made me, in what 2004, 2006, or whatever it was, is on Flickr, and I believe it was copyright. And a lot of things Flickr actually changed from the CC. The Creative Commons something else. I gotta do something with that because it looks like Flickr's changing or whatever. So, or it wants to be a page site, and I got a lot of pictures on there. And hello, hello. Oh, maybe I can look at that. That other site. There's a lot of pictures on. But unless you're writing your own stuff completely doing stuff yourself or whatever, you'd have to be putting stuff forever down in there. And there's not enough room even in the description to put everything down. People don't even understand what all could be. Maybe they're doing. I'm not mad about all this stuff. I'm just, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, stuff like that. I'm not asking people for money. I said it was a trap I give back, and divine and God supposedly, I gave back because they said it was a trap that they knew I was going to give back. But they put a thing that we had to be together. Now, whatever after that, maybe that's free, whatever. I don't want to ruin all your plots. I don't even know who the next plot's with. It's not about status. Hell, over this stuff, I could find a girl on the streets and, baby better, huh? Or why would I have to do something in the old times where I'm supposed to get rid of everyone instead of the new times? Look at all these girls trying to flirt with me. I'm supposed to get in trouble if I flirt with them or something, but you're telling me that's how I'm supposed to make my money by fulfilling their desires. And all these girls are flirting with me. They can watch me. I don't have to do anything. They're all watching me anyway. What do they want to say? They can say it. They're playing their own game. They're giving me hints like this is happening. Well, I already seen most of the stuff was happening. You're telling me that in another life I was someone else and their family members knew me. You're telling me I don't know who my own family is. You're telling me she don't know who her own family is, or someone in there don't know who their own family is. I can go back and I go get my baby book and some of these names come up. Sometimes you say I'm not related, or you said I was. Whatever in another life, and I preppy in this life too. So it's all very weird. I was supposed to go kidnap this person by what you say, and you guys say. I don't know. No, I'm supposed to be sure about what I say, right? God, I'm supposed to be sure. I am the one. I'm not even supposed to say. I'm not supposed to judge people because that's me. That's what I say. I say I'm not judging people. I'm naming God. That's what I say. Why do I gotta have the job of everyone? Oh, I'm no better than you. Anyways, a nice trailer. I like the trailer. It looks funny. I read the screenplay. Sounds kind of funny. Uh, I could probably be a little bit there, but um, sounds funny. I don't know. Is that other trailer about Me Too? I look like it could be. I think they both are. I don't know. But that one and like that stuff you said. When you keep saying that I want her money or something, right? If I want people's money, I could have been with people who want higher status than her. Of course, I don't know what she is now. For all I know, Tita could be her and whatever, but they're both sing, right? They both have different voices, but they can change their voices. I just said Tita, I didn't say the name. So a status of some TikTok artist. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be good here because one God says I'm supposed to stay there. One God. All the other gods say it's time to move on. And there's still something what's unsaid there, right? Because we both don't know who our families are. And it was a different life. I'm probably giving away something there, right? Is that real? Very well could be. The baby book has some of these names in it. And one of the names is like a little bit different than one of the names I saw her under, right? But that could be something so people didn't have her actual real name. Hello, Daniel Better. Anyways, I think I'm done, and I'm over there right now. You guys say for the one God, what's not supposed to be over there? I'm over there. I'm way off. All right. Anyways, I'm done. Not a couple hours or whatever. I don't have much people watching my channel. You guys said for everyone I took off, you're supposed to put someone back on. You're saying you're taking your time because it's all gonna come together. So yeah, it'll all come together sometime anyway, right? Maybe it doesn't really matter. The thing that matters, you guys already said, which it seems like people already knew anyways. But yeah, this goes for how many people thought I was dumb for 4 years. Whenever I knew off the bat that I played along, and Mr. J, wasn't dumb. He knows what he's doing. Me and him know what's going on. What's been these patterns, these plays, what's been going on. These other people get caught up in them, and they're willing to play. Then you blame us for playing. Anyway, thank y'all. Love ya. Thank you, gracias. Thank you, Salamat, Crucius, or whatever it is. But I forget what the word is. Come on. We're out of here. Love y'all. Prayers. Be tough. Stay strong. Don't let everyone take advantage of you. It's probably on them, you know, it's a mirror. And once they figure that out, to me, you know, I'm so, well, I don't know if I'm alive or dead, because I'm supposedly dead. I'm supposedly in heaven. So, that was supposed to be to me, that was a message, basically. I was supposed to sin. Because I was doing this stuff, and God's watching these people, and it's up to Him to judge. And basically, I'm acting dumb, you know, which isn't completely honest. Whatever, going with the flow, acting like I don't know what they're doing. So the mirror, to me, is, you know what, God was watching you. And once all these people said that they saw that I was being a mirror for all of them, that, to me, is the answer. And you guys say I died and went to heaven. But that was not mine and God's deal. Yeah, and like I said, I've said all along, God was going to make me live 300 years if I want to or not, just punishment, whatever. No, I was supposed to die and not go to heaven or hell. I was supposed to die and be in peace, not have another life. Because I didn't want to live another life. But every day I wake up, I look on my bed, I don't see my body. You know, I was supposed to donate my organs, and anymore, every time I look at these organ donating sites and stuff anymore, I don't know if that's really a good idea, because, or like these funeral homes and stuff, anymore you're finding out about all these people, these funeral homes and these organ donor sites and stuff like that, where they're disposing of body parts just because they have them and have nothing to do with them, or whatever they're doing. So I don't know, you know. I thought organ donor was a good thing. But even that, there's different types now. When you look at it, it's not even different. It's, when you signed up for that stuff, that's one thing like about jury stuff. It said in order to be organ donor, I think you were willing to do jury duty or something, or if you didn't have to or something. Nowadays, even felons get to do jury duty. And like, what the hell's that about? Right? You're making felons go do jury duty. Because I know some of them. I'm not, maybe some of them are light felons, but some of them aren't quite as light. So, anytime you put yourself in that situation, especially nowadays, you can be risking your life to go do something that's supposed to be for your peers and stuff. Something's weird about that, because nowadays, when you're going to that kind of stuff, if you rat off a gang or something, you got these people at the damn courthouse and stuff trying to get you to say something else and stuff that are threatening you. Jury duty ain't but it was once supposed to be, if it ever was that way. So I'm not a judge. I'm not the jury. I leave that to God. To his. God, I don't want to take your place. I know you don't want to have it forever. I'll be the second coming. But there's something. You know, I'm being disobedient. Anyways, I'm done.